Welcome, everybody. John Arvosis here. Hello, all. How's everybody doing? Hello, TikTok. How you doing? How you doing? Anyway, oh my, I think this is interesting. My voice, I think, is marginally improved today, which would be kind of Gunther. Good to see you. I saw your comment. That was interesting. What happened over with Aaron? How's everybody doing? We are here for today's Ukraine update, as always. Lots of news, which I'm always kind of surprised when we do a Friday night show. And then Saturday early-ish, there's already news because it hasn't even been 24 hours. So kind of exciting. Well, exciting, whatever. Interesting. Keeps it interesting. I'm doing okay. Like I said, my voice is hanging in there, which is interesting and good. My voice has been raspy for like a month now. The dog is surviving because, as you can probably see outside, it is a gorgeous day in DC. It's actually looks a little better than you're even seeing there. It's kind of that blue sky with clouds, kind of beautiful thing going on, which is nice. So that's good. Just adjusting my lighting, and then we will begin. That's okay. All right, guys. I'm going to start as always, and then more people will come in as we're talking, and that's okay. Thank you, Mike Webb, for the hat, as always. I start, as you guys know, by doing about 20 minutes of news, and then, I don't think so. Oh, Jesus Christ. Somebody, okay, that has to be the most interesting spam I've seen yet. Some guy came on Facebook, because I broadcast to Facebook too. Any woman, or I don't know if it said child or what it said out there, who wants to marry me, contact me directly. Like, okay, I mean, we're going to jump into the Ukraine stuff, but let me ask the women out there, does that actually work? I mean, like, is there somebody out there that goes, hey, some guy named, what was his name? Wakas Ali says he'd like to marry me. I know I don't know him, and I know he's from Facebook, but hey. No, I mean, I just don't even understand the concept of it just seems, at least with the Bitcoin scams, at least it's like you go, oh, Bitcoin, right? I mean, you don't realize, maybe you don't realize it's a scammer, but like, oh my God. I don't think he's that picky, John Bra. All right, guys. So let's start. Now that we've got the most bizarre spam I've had yet this year to date, let's jump right in. I'm going to do about 20 minutes of news. Then we're going to go into question and answer. Thank you, Flint Reed. That's very cute. And on TikTok, you put the questions in my profile. You'll see the Q&A. The rest of you use the comment box. And of course, super chat questions are always welcome on YouTube. And your guys' gifts are welcome as well. Let's get rolling. So, Amnesty International, the scandal over Amnesty. Amnesty put out a report, and the scandal grew even bigger today, actually. So Amnesty International put out a report criticizing the Ukrainians, saying that Ukrainian troops were putting citizens at risk by operating in civilian areas. Well, a lot of Ukrainians responded and said, our civilian areas are being bombed and invaded and occupied by the Russians. So it kind of makes sense that our troops are, operating in those civilian areas. The head of Amnesty Ukraine, who was there for 7 years, quit. She came out yesterday and said she'd seen the report. She was involved in it. She told Amnesty, we cannot publish this report. It is one-sided. It is wrong. She's the head of Amnesty Ukraine, and they overruled her and published it. Well, now today, this is really interesting. Thank you, Verna, for that. Amnesty International's Polish office has condemns Russian war crimes. Of course, the timing is what's interesting to me about, my Alexa keeps hearing me. I sort of have it playing music in the background when I'm getting ready for the show. And it's so listen to this. Amnesty's Polish branch stressed that Ukraine's military is defending from a cruel and unjust attack, fighting in unequal conditions imposed by the aggressor. As Russian troops have been carrying out, quote, inhumane attacks not only on individual civilian objects, but also on multi-million cities, small towns, and villages, often populated only by civilians. This was Amnesty Poland, Amnesty International's Polish office, basically criticizing Amnesty International headquarters for publishing that report. That's what this is. What they're doing is they're describing exactly what I just told you, that this is happening out in an unequal way. The Ukrainians are trying to defend an unjust attack. The Russians are attacking civilian objects, cities, towns. Anyway, this is going to, let's see what happens with this. But what is interesting to me is when I first talked about this, we were seeing, Ukrainians and some of their defenders complaining. And, it's normal they would complain, right? But they would complain simply saying, why are you coming after us? This is now this is internal in Amnesty. The head of Amnesty Ukraine has said this report is unfair and resigned, quit. The Amnesty Poland has now come out and implicitly criticized this report and say it's not fair. Very interesting, just very interesting. An 8-year-old boy, this is a great story too. I mean, that wasn't a great story about Amazon. That was a sad story, but a big one. An 8-year-old boy named Serhiy from Chernihiv raised $1,700. I'm going to show you the video of this kid singing. It's absolutely wonderful. Raised $1,700 for Ukraine's military by performing outside. He handed over the money he gathered. This is from via the Ukraine Kyiv Independent. He handed the money he gathered from singing Ukrainian songs outside. The young boy said that he would, this is great. Listen to this. And then I'm going to show you the video. The video is great. The young boy said that he would like the money to be spent on a Jeep, a thermal imaging camera, weapons, or protective ammunition for Ukrainian soldiers. He's 8 years. Wait till you see. He's like a young 8 years old too. But he's even figured out exactly where he wants the money spent, which weapons, whatever. So check out this video. This little kid has been singing in public, which, mind you, is impressive enough, because let's face it, for, anybody, let alone a little kid. So, all right, check this out. I'm going to zoom in so you can see him. Oh, he's wearing the Kalush Orchestra hat. Wait, check it out. He's wearing the hat that the lead guy in Kalush Orchestra wears, who's the one that won Eurovision. Back up a little. Is that just absolutely adorable? I love when people do this kind of shit. I love this kind of the little kids, and frankly, it's not a bad amount of money, 1,700. But the fact that this kid had the nerve to sing, although young kids are funny that way, I guess. Well, I don't know about 8-year-olds, right? I mean, young kids, like 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds are happy to dance in front of the whole wedding party. But once you get to be 8 years old, that takes guts. I would have been afraid to sing in public at that age. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Oh boy, I see we've got lots of mods today here. I mean, lots of the Russian trolls. My favorite is when the Russian trolls, by the way, when the Russian trolls say we. And they mean, we don't want our money to go to a proxy war. What would be so bad about? One of Russia's arguments is this is a proxy war. It's actually the West versus Russia. And my response to that would be, so what if it is? It's not. Russia attacked Ukraine because Russia wants to literally swallow up Ukraine and make the country part of Russia. That's the goal here. But let's say that part of what's going on is a battle between the West and Russia, and that the weapons we're providing are going to help beat the Russians. Why is that such a bad thing? I don't have a problem with that, right? I don't have a problem with that. America helping take down Russia, the West help weaken Russia, stop Russia so it can't do more bad things in the future. I just think it's really interesting, the whole proxy war concept. See, it's a funny argument because it's one of those, it's how misinformation works, because it's one of these phrases that they've almost taught us to go, no, it's not. And then rather than going, so what? Much of our country would be happy to teach Russia a lesson. Much of our country would. The idea, it's almost this crazy peacenik idea where, we would never want to do something that was actually hurting Russia, and it's actually us hurting Russia. Not necessarily hurting. It's not hurting, right? We're not hurting Russia. We're stopping them from doing bad things, and we are stopping them from eventually going and invading other countries. And we're stopping them from doing a genocide, let's be honest. Let's not call it bad things. I didn't mean that. So in terms of the battle, it is getting increasingly interesting with Russia. Clearly, Russia has now decided that the battle has moved here to this front. Zaporizhia, all the way down here, north of the river here, Kherson. Okay? You're going to hear a lot about Zaporizhia and Kherson. Zaporizhia, by the way, is the area of the nuclear plant that's getting a lot of press. The Zaporizhia town itself is free. Oh, thank you for that. Who was that? Oh, Catherine, thank you for that. The town itself is free. Right south is the line of fighting. You then go to the river here, and then it crosses the river right west of Nikopol here in terms of what the Russians occupy. You cross the river, and they occupy north of here a couple miles, including Kherson. So all of this, wants to remind you, everything with my finger and this way, all of this, kind of more or less, all of this they occupy, okay? The Russians have been fighting hard. Well, kind of bad. I mean, they haven't been doing a great job. Have been fighting very fiercely in the east here. They want to get these two provinces, Luhansk, Donetsk, combined called Donbass, right? Big deal for Russia trying to get these. They want to conquer them and then annex them. Well, they also, we now know, want to annex all of this here too. Zaporizhia province and Kherson province. The problem is the Ukrainians have been putting up a really good fight in Kherson. Kherson is the one where there have been a lot of insurgents, Wolverines, right? Citizens taking up arms and planting bombs and blowing up collaborators, blowing up Russian occupation officials, things like that, right? Well, what's going on now is the Russians are getting increasingly worried about Zaporizhia as well. My guess is they've gotten intelligence that tells them that the Ukrainians are not just going to try to take back Kherson in this coming counteroffensive. Okay, I think the Russians. The only reason I could think they would believe it is because, again, they've overheard it somewhere that they think the Ukrainians are going to try to come in here and take Zaporizhia as well back in this same counteroffensive. So the Russians have pretty much given up for now on trying to take all of this region, and they're moving all of their troops down here, Zaporizhia, Kherson. And now, and I'm going to read you this in a second, they're bringing up a lot of troops and equipment from Crimea. And get this, Crimea, right, the territory the Russians stole from Ukraine in 2014, they're getting a lot of the equipment crossing here, the peninsula, Kirch, there's a bridge. Russia is over here. This is, I mean, it looks blue like the sea, but it's not. This is Russia over here. Russia is bringing in a ton of equipment by coming across the Kerch Bridge and then coming up here. The reason the Kerch Bridge is still in place is because Ukraine's weapons can't reach that far. Why can Ukraine's weapons not reach that far? Because we have refused to give Ukraine, we have outright refused to give them weapons, longer range missiles and rockets, right? We provided them the HIMARS system. The HIMARS system is a missile system, rocket system, whatever you want to call it. And we provided them with the actual missiles that go in, or the rockets that go in it, that can only go around 43 to 60 miles distance. It has rockets that we have to give that can go as long as 180, maybe 200 miles distance. The 200 miles distance would allow Ukraine to hit that bridge. But because, well, the reasoning, I mean, Surf Rider is asking the reasoning. Publicly, we've claimed, oh, we're afraid Ukraine would use those rockets to attack Russian territory and Russian cities, and then somehow we'd be dragged into the war. I'm not quite, first of all, this is again what I talked about earlier, where one of these accusations that we're supposed to go, oh no. First of all, why would it be a bad thing if Ukraine attacked Russian territory when Russia is occupying Ukrainian territory and committing genocide? Why would it be so bad? That would be my first point. And the idea that, oh, Russia's going to get mad at us. What are they going to do? I mean, what are they going to do? Invade New York? I mean, seriously, like at least let's have a real discussion about this, right? What is Russia going to do if Ukraine hits them? But secondly, we have already made Ukraine promise not to use the weapons we give them to hit Russian territory. We've made them promise that, and they've not done it. They can nuke us. They can't nuke us. Nick, we've got nuclear submarines. Russia nukes us. We nuke them and the world's over. So if you're a Russian military leader or a Russian leader, why would you nuke us? If you knew the response was going to be, that U.S., British, and French nuclear submarines that cannot be hit, that cannot be found by the Russians, would return fire and blow up all of Russia. Duh, right? They're not going to do it. But it pisses me off because they've already proven they're not going to use our weapons. We asked them to, they're not doing it. And we haven't given the longer. Now, what is going on, frankly, we're afraid of them. That's what's going on. This comes back to the initial problem we had. We are afraid of Putin. We're afraid, to quote the French, we don't want to humiliate him. To quote Biden, it's World War III if we get involved with Russia. We're afraid. We're just afraid of Putin. Putin psyched us out. From the beginning, he psyched out Biden, and he certainly psyched out Macron in France and Scholz in Germany. Absolutely, positively. Elise is writing, it seems like a big change that Ukraine is setting the stage now, making Russia respond with troop movements to Ukrainian plans. Exactly. Yep. That was something I mentioned yesterday, that basically when Elise says setting the stage, she means Ukraine is the one deciding where to fight. Ukraine has made clear that it wants to fight in Kherson. It wants to fight in Zaporizhia. And the Russians are now having to move from where the Russians want to fight in the east all the way back to Zaporizhia and Kherson, because the Ukrainians are the ones calling the shots now, which I think is very interesting. And I don't think Anteloper says, I disagree, USA is not afraid of Russia. I don't think the USA is afraid of Russia. I think Biden's afraid of Putin. Biden thinks Putin's going to go crazy. Who knows what he'll do? He'll drop a nuke. Like the comment here, he'll use nukes. Who knows? Like, okay, I mean, I know. No, I mean, I hate to be so arrogant about it or whatever, but again, somebody needs to explain to me why Vladimir Putin would use a nuclear weapon knowing that we would respond with a nuclear weapon and his country would be destroyed. I mean, somebody needs to explain, and to say Putin's crazy, the man's obviously not crazy. But I mean, it's ridiculous. He's not crazy. Flint Reed is saying, check what Malcolm Nance had to say about that at the Commonwealth clip on YouTube. Very reassuring. I'd love to hear what Malcolm had. Can you summarize it really quick, Flint, for us? I'd be curious to hear that. Commonwealth Club. Yeah, I figured. No, and again, the nuclear submarines can't be found anyway. People aren't stupid. People are stupid enough to use nukes. Who, people? We're not talking people. We're talking about the leader of Russia. The leader of Russia knows we've got nuclear submarines and we can respond. The leader of Russia is not stupid, right? The head of Russia's military is not stupid. That's my point, is there really isn't a logical argument, a rational argument anybody can present to me that I've heard as to why Russia would use nukes. Mind you, we're not talking, what is it, the 52nd Airborne or whatever it's called? We're not talking American troops and planes are right outside Moscow about to take ownership over all of Russia. Then I could see Russia using nukes, right? Better than being literally destroyed. Well, what Russia's trying to do in Ukraine. But Russia's going to go nuclear and end the world because we gave Ukraine missiles that go 180 miles instead of just 60 miles? Really? I think Biden's afraid. 80-second. Damn it. I knew it. As soon as I said it, I caught myself and said, whatever. 80 seconds. Sorry. I knew it was a second. Oh my God. Anyway, Flint was giving a little more background here. Basically, about what Malcolm Nance was saying. Basically, they are watching very closely, and the second a nuke site goes active, they will be vaporized before they can even set the staging. Oh, I see what you mean. You're saying before. Oh, hello. That's kind of cool, Cammie. I don't know if I've seen the golden stars before. That's kind of cool. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, it's driving me crazy. We need to get past that fear. Anti-M, cute, says, have you seen the first part of Dylan Burns' documentary? He goes boots on the ground, Ukraine frontline with soldiers. Don't know who he is. Nope. The problem is that Putin has been irresponsible with the nuclear plants. He's been irresponsible with the nuclear plants, but A Moonsbeams is saying in Twitch, Except that Putin has been irresponsible with the nuclear plants on purpose is the assessment now. Institute for the Study of War was saying this, that it looks like this is Putin's plan, that he's trying to scare the West into thinking, oh my God, Russia's going to blow up a nuclear plant. They're going to accidentally, mind you, he's intentionally trying to make us think that he's going to unintentionally blow up a nuclear plant. And therefore, he's trying to freak out the West into saying, this has got to stop. It's just gone too far. This war isn't worth it anymore, you know? Or he intends to blow it up. Yeah, I mean, or as Nathan's saying, or he intends to blow it up. But he's doing it to freak us out. And that's what bothers me. Oh my God. Nathan's troll friends are joining us at the beginning of the broadcast. That never happens. Even more. All right. Anyway, once I block I don't even want to read what it says there. They're the trolls. It's oh God, hold on. Muting the trolls, put user in timeout. All right. Anyway. All right, let me go on here. Yeah, no, it's annoying me. Thank you, Lisa, for that. Let me read a little bit of this because I was sort of summarizing a lot of the reading I had done. Okay, here, UK British intelligence. Here at UK British. The British Defense Intelligence update. Listen to this. Russian forces are almost certainly massing. Thank you for that. Who was that, Catherine? Russian forces are almost certainly massing in the south in anticipation of Ukraine's counteroffensive or in preparation for a possible assault. Long convoys of Russian military trucks, tanks, towed artillery, and other weapons continue to move away from Ukraine's Donbas region, where the Russians wanted to fight, and are heading southwest. Equipment was also reported to be moving from Russian-occupied Melitopol, Berdyansk, Mariupol, and from mainland Russia via the Kerch Bridge into Crimea. Listen to this. Battalion tactical groups, which comprise between 800 and 1,000 troops, have been deployed to Crimea and would almost certainly be used in the Kherson region. So that's the other thing. Because we have not provided these because we refuse, it's not just not, because we refuse to give, I don't think so. I love when the trolls try to get by speaking in Russian and Serbian. Oh, somebody studied a little Russian here. That's one of my faves, like Slava Rusi. And it said, and Serbia in like Russian or Serbian. Like, gee, I wonder if you're a good guy. What is also going on here, because we have refused to provide the longer range missiles to Ukraine, the longer range rockets, they can't hit that bridge. And as a result, what's happening is Russia is bringing more equipment. Look at this, 800 to 1,000, troops, more troops. And it means that it is going to be harder for the Ukrainians to beat the Russians. It's going to be more Ukrainians dying in the battle, and the battle's going to go longer. How does that benefit? Forget Ukraine. How does that benefit us, right? I thought the whole idea was we were worried about what happens if the war goes into the winter and Russia tries to cut off Germany and Europe from getting natural gas, right? That was our big concern. Well, here's an idea. Why don't we give Ukraine the weapons it needs, and then we don't have to worry about the war possibly going into next year or the winter even. But literally, we are killing more Ukrainian soldiers. We are killing more Ukrainian civilians, and we are saving Russian military vehicles and people by refusing to give those weapons. I mean, I think it's immoral. Institute for the Study of War. Ukrainian forces likely continued to target Russian ammunition depots and positions in Kherson. The Ukrainian South Operational Command reported destroying 3 Russian ammunition depots. This was interesting. 3 Russian ammunition depots in Kherson City. And Tokarivka. Hold on a second. I've got to look really quick and see where Tokarivka is, because it sounds like a small point, but it's actually very interesting. Hold on. Let's see if Tokarivka is north of the river. One of you, I'm sure, knows as I'm Googling. Let it be north of the river. It's north of the river. Oh, no, it's not north of the river. Oh, Oh, Tokarev goes all the way up there. Okay, that's weird. That's weird. Actually, that's not bad though. So basically what's happening is the Ukrainians are targeting, pull back my stream here. The Ukrainians are targeting ammunition depots that are north of the river. Now, why does this matter? I've told you guys this before the other day. Remember we talked before, well, I said earlier today how Russian troops tend to be south of the Dnipro River, or Dnipro, I guess the Ukrainians say, right? This is a river that bisects Ukraine, goes all the way up through Kyiv, north to Belarus, okay? It bisects the country in half, and almost all the Russian occupation forces are east or south of the river, okay? It only in this area here does it go north of the river a little bit. North of the river includes Kherson, but that's it. So what the Ukrainians did is, in this area north of the river, they blew up the bridges, 3 key bridges here. By blowing up the 3 key bridges, now the Russians are trying to find a way around it. They're trying to use pontoons and all sorts of things. But by blowing up these bridges, they've trapped Russians' troops that are north, Russians' troops that occupy the city of Kherson, which is north of the river, right, or northwest of the river. And they make it harder for those troops to get supplies, to get resupplied. They make it next to impossible for those troops to escape if they're being overrun by Ukrainians coming down from the north. And now what this is saying is that, yeah, that 3 ammunition depots were destroyed north of the river. In other words, this is some of the remaining ammunition the Russians have. The Ukrainians are intentionally trying to intentionally trying to blow up the Russian ammunitions in the area where the Russians can't really get any more ammunitions. So it's a brilliant strategy on their part. Additionally, I read that Ukraine's military destroyed 6 ammunition depots total. I don't know where the other 3 were, but this is just like in the last day. But the 3 were there at least. Just looking here to see, just sort of a off reports on destroying Ukrainians in the south, destroyed 4 T-72 tanks, killed 79 Russian troops, destroyed 2 self-propelled howitzers, an artillery installation, a radar station, etc. Oh, this is kind of bad. Okay, I grabbed a lot of stuff about this. So the looking for my pen as I talk to you, I committed the cardinal sin here. I started without numbering my pages. 1, 2, 3, one moment. 4, 5, because this way I don't lose where I am. 1 second. 6 and 7. There we go. So the Russians are very heavily pushing the process of trying to make the occupied territories, which is about 20% of Ukraine, to make them Russian. And I don't just mean ethnically Russian. I mean, they're preparing to annex these territories. And one of the ways they're doing it is by forcing Ukrainians. Mind you, these are Ukrainians there's, where else were they going to go? A lot of them left, but a lot of them stayed, because where else were they going to go? Thank you, Heather. That was sweet of you. So the Ukrainians that are there, the Russians are trying to force them to get Russian passports. And the idea is, once they get Russian passports, they could call them Russian. And it's a process. It's a process of annexation. It's also a process of elimination. This is how you eradicate the Ukrainian identity. You literally take the citizens and you kill them. You kidnap them. You force them out of their homes so they leave the region. And you take the ones that are in the region still, and you make them get Russian passports so they're no longer Ukrainian. It's really, I'm going to read you some of this. It's really scary because I read through this stuff. Hey, Max from Ukraine. Good to see you. It just is very scary to me when I read this stuff. Let me read this to you. It reminds me of the Soviet Union, which I lived through as an American, but I was around during the Soviet years. Let me read you this. So, yeah. Ukraine's main intelligence directorate. I'm going to read you a bunch of these just to give you a sense of how intrusive this is now. Oh, thank you. Even I forgot when we said hi to, you guys are being really good on TikTok and YouTube. We always, and LinkedIn, whenever we greet a Ukrainian, we try to show sunflowers in our comments to them. And I actually totally forgot. And then I noticed you guys doing that. So thank you for doing that for MEX. So listen to this. Ukraine's main military intelligence directorate reported August 5th, yesterday, that Russian occupation authorities in Melitopol are forcing, might as well show you whenever I mention a town. Melitopol, here. Here's Mariupol, here's Melitopol, here's Kherson, Crimea. So Melitopol is here, right in the middle of the Zaporizhzhia, Kherson area that's occupied, okay? The occupation authorities are forcing Ukrainian tenants, so Ukrainian renters who rent plots of agricultural land, to negotiate new rental agreements, even if their agreements remain active. Renegotiation of their rental agreements requires a Russian passport. The GUR also reported that Russian occupation authorities are requiring all Ukrainian vehicle license plates to transfer to temporary Russian-style license plates and to re-register their vehicles in a Russian system. Re-registration will require a Russian passport. I'm going to give you more examples, but they're making it so there's nothing you can do in Ukraine, in occupied Ukraine, without having a Russian passport to try to force these people to give up their Ukrainian identity. This is genocide. The Russian appointed Minister of Agrarian Policy for Kherson and a Ukrainian collaborator ordered Kherson farmers to register their businesses and pay taxes under Russian law. It also reported that Russian authorities sent letters to business people and self-employed residents of a number of towns requesting that they register their businesses and begin paying Russian taxes. And let's say it all together, registration of business activity will require a Russian passport. Russian forces require you. Oh, this is a really bad part too. This is the same thing. Russian forces are requiring Ukrainian civilians who wish to have internet or cell phone access. This is where it gets bad. I mean, internet. Oh, thank you, Flower Lady, for the garland. Internet or cell phone access to provide their passports and personal information to the authorities. Ukrainian residents must bring their passports with them to register to vote in the annexation referendum. This is where it gets interesting. Now, first, I don't know if when they say passports, they didn't have any further information as to whether they meant Russian passports or Ukrainian. Even if it's Ukrainian, it's really bad because what they're worried about is that the Russians are trying to build up a database of the locals who are still there in order to intimidate them, in order to know who to go after, right? To turn them into Russians. Let me see here. Voter registration. So the Russians are going to hold a referendum on whether people in the occupied territories want to become Russian, right? And this is what they did before in Crimea. It was a hoax then. It's a hoax now. Totally fake election. And of course, the result of the election is going to be just like the elections in Russia, right? It's like North Korea. The election is going to be, oh my God, everybody wants to be part of Russia, right? Of course. Well, the concern is, listen to this. This was from Institute for the Study of War. Voter registration for Russia's annexation pseudo-referenda in occupied Ukraine will likely pose an impossible choice to pro-Ukrainian residents who will need to provide identification to register to vote that can then be used to falsify or disregard their vote. So the Russians, part of the reason they're trying to get all the information on the Ukrainians is the Russians are going to vote for the Ukrainians. So if you register to vote, you're going to give the Russians your name and information. They're going to put it in a database. They're going to record the wrong vote, and they're going to use it as proof that you voted. I mean, and if you don't vote, then you don't vote, and only the fake pro-Russians vote, right? All right. Just making sure we don't have bots going on here. All right. Whoever's kind of jumping in with the Chinese, hey, hi, hi. Unless you got something substantive to add, be very careful. You're about to get blocked. Let me see what else we got here, though. Oh, this is okay. Final little point of evidence. The Kremlin is continuing to replace Ukrainian collaborators in Russian-occupied administrations with Russian officials likely to prepare for formal Russian governance and annexation. So what they're doing is they're now getting rid of the of the, ooh, what was that? Ruh-roh. That was weird. My comments suddenly, I hope I'm still live. My comments have now disappeared on my TikTok. Wow, that's kind of weird. I don't know. It's only showing me like the last comment made. It's not giving me all the comments now. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Whoa. You guys can't quite see it on YouTube. Oh God, it's like glitching all to hell. It's literally live. I'm wondering if I should end and come back. Sorry guys, one quick second on YouTube. We're having a little bit of a glitch here on TikTok. Yeah, okay, you know what, TikTok? I'm going to exit and come back on TikTok. If it doesn't, yeah, it's not clearing up. I'm going to exit and come back and see if that fixes it, okay? Because this is some TikTok glitch itself. Okay. Just letting you guys know, waiting for somebody to respond real quick. Okay. Now, you know, I'm coming back. You'll be here. Okay, good. Hang on, YouTubers. Thank you for waiting. Crazy. Wow. Go live. Weird. Yeah, it was like some bizarro technical. Oops. There we go. All right. Wow, that was bizarro. I'll just keep going while the YouTubers all come in and say hi. Iranian drones. Okay, so remember we've been worried about it. Yeah, cue the Russians. Remember we've been worried about Iranian drones, and there was talk. I think U.S. had said that it looked like the Iranians were going to sell several hundred drones at least to the Russians. Hang on. Jillian, I have no idea. TikTok's being weird. Hold on. I'm going to copy that. Actually, Jillian, tell me exactly what you mean by that, because I want to share that with somebody. What do you mean the lives are just not there? If you could tell me that really quick, and then, because what the heck, we'll wait a second for the TikTokers to come back. Hey, TikTokers. Thank you, Alex. Love you too. Or are you an Alec? Hey guys. So I was just seeing Jillian, if Jillian had any more. If I go on your page, it doesn't show you're live at all. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So meaning there's no indication that I'm live is what you mean, Jillian. Like normally you'd see the little circle with the thing around it. So you're not even seeing it indicated. All right. I'll if that's correct, say it's correct. I'm going to continue with the news, guys. Thanks for joining me again on TikTok. We had a little glitch with a TikTok glitch. All right, we're back. Although some people are saying they're actually seeing it, which is good. All right, guys, let me interesting that some people are saying you have to start over and go back to my page to see it. Interesting. Okay. They say tell you to refresh, whatever that means. Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you coming back. Thank you, TikTokers. We had a little TikTok glitch. Not my fault. Oh, they're doing it again. No. Wow. All right. I'm just going to keep talking, guys. That's funny. I'm just going to keep talking because I don't want it to screw things up. And I don't want it. It's the comments are ruining but it's clearly a TikTok problem with the comments. So I'm going to keep talking as long as you guys can hear me. Now it does still show the live on my, it still shows the live on mine. TikTok's been glitching. We'll just ignore it and keep going. All right, guys. So I was talking about Iranian drones. We had heard about a week ago that the U.S. was concerned that the Iranians were selling several hundred drones to the Russians. The Institute for the Study of War is now saying that Ukrainian officials confirmed that Russia is using Iranian-provided drones in Ukraine. Advisor to the president's office, Alexei Arestovich, who's a very well-known political figure, military figure in Ukraine, stated that on August 5th, yesterday, Iran handed 46 drones over to Russia, and that the Ukrainian government has already noted the use of these drones in combat in Ukraine. At least, this is the important part. Listen to this. At least a portion of the provided drones are older generation Shahed 129 heavy strike drones, which Russian forces may seek to use to attack U.S. provided HIMARS. That's the interesting question. If these drones are strong enough to blow up a HIMARS, and at least some of these older ones might be able to. It is unclear whether the 46 drones represent all the drones that Tehran has agreed to send, or the number of Iranian drones that are currently operating in Ukraine. Bulgaria, this is interesting. Okay, this is a follow-on to another story from the other day, and I think I may have figured out why they're doing it, at least in part. So Bulgaria and Latvia have ceased to issue visas to Russian citizens. Bulgarian consular section in Moscow has reportedly temporarily suspended the acceptance of visa documents for Russian tourists and real estate owners. Latvia's embassy in Russia has also stopped accepting visa applications from Russian citizens for an indefinite period, except for those attending the funeral of a close relative. What I wonder now is whether this is because it's glitching again. What do you do? Don't worry, TikTokers. We'll just keep going. It's glitching. I wonder if these countries aren't doing, because I think if the countries aren't doing this because they're trying to punish the oligarchs. The oligarchs are the ones who want to go abroad and live in France and, right? I mean, enjoy themselves on the Riviera and everywhere. And whether they're not trying to basically punish the richest, because let's face it, it's not the poor peasants. Thank you, Arabella. It's not the poor peasants who are leaving the country and traveling and getting tourist visas, right? If you're getting a tourist visa, especially now, you're a rich Russian. And the idea here is to punish the rich Russians, you know? Hold on a second. I'm going to actually, next time it glitches off, I'm going to grab a screenshot of TikTok doing this so I can show somebody. So this is the normal one. Now it's not going to glitch because I'm waiting to grab a screenshot. Well, wait a second. It's going to do it now that I let my finger off the button. So anyway, but that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they're doing it to punish the Russians, to basically punish the rich Russians in order to cause, oops, there we go. All right. Very freaking weird. Very freaking weird. Yeah. All right. I don't think the trolls can actually do this, but I'll report it to some folks. Yeah. Send me the screenshot, Ashley. Actually, you know what? If somebody could do me a favor, because I can't access it myself and do this without cutting you guys off, don't just grab me a screenshot. If you're on an iPhone or an iPad and you know how to record your screen on TikTok, record your screen in the live for a minute or two until the glitch happens, because I want that video. I want the video showing what the glitch really is, because an empty screen doesn't do it justice to watch it flickering and everything. So if one of you who knows me knows how to do it, please do. All right. Malta. It's Meta. I hate that name. The new name for Amazon, Meta, drives me absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hang on a second. Radoslav, who is in Bulgaria, I believe, says, I'm not sure if the visas are being stopped issuing, but I know there are planes that were refused from passing through the Bulgarian airspace. Well, that I'm sure would happen because, right, all of us have stopped Russian planes from going through, right? Right? Yeah, if somebody can record that, because I don't have, oh, you know what? That's not true. Hold on. Of course, now it's going to work again. There we go. There we go. There we go. I got it. I got it too. Inspired Woman or something. If you want to send it to me too, it might be a better copy because I'm getting the reflection here. Cindy, you send me a copy too. Okay, Lord Sorwan, I think we got enough because Cindy knows how to get a hold of me. She's got my email. Ashley does too. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you doing that. So Meta, not Malta, but Meta, Facebook removed over 1,000 fake Russian accounts supporting the war, obviously. Meta stated that it disabled 45. I have to say these numbers are kind of pathetic though. Like 1,000. Can you imagine how many fake accounts the Russians have on Facebook? I mean, we know this from the war. Yeah, from the war. From the war. When I was in World War II, we know this from the election of 2016, the number of fake accounts the Russians had. So, but nonetheless, disabled 45 Facebook and 1,037 Instagram accounts operated by a Russian troll farm, targeting politicians. This is interesting. Targeting politicians, journalists, actors, celebrities, and commercial brands from around the world that support Ukraine. Several hundred people were reportedly employed and compensated in rubles to leave pro-Russian comments in order to fabricate the illusion of widespread support for Russia's war. Interesting. LaShawn, I'm going to save this for a second here, and I'll save Chris's. I'll give you two really quickies. So the European Commission is now saying there are no legal obstacles to returning the Nord Stream 1 turbine to Russia. Remember that this, oh God, it's just pathetic that they're doing this, because also they're kind of lying. So Russia's gas pipeline to Europe. Most of the gas, a lot of the gas goes to Germany. Russia first cut it back to 60% of capacity, then 40% of capacity. Then they cut it off completely, and they claimed it was for, routine maintenance. Oh, yeah, sure. Now they've turned it back on to only 20%. Now, why is it at 20% if it was routine maintenance? Because the maintenance should have made it 100%, right? But it's only 20%. And the Russians have been saying, thank you, Frosted Boots, for the crown. The Russians have been saying, well, until we get this spare part we need, we can't do 100%. Now, first of all, that's a lie, because the Russians actually have backups of every part. So they've got a backup of the spare part. Second problem is they were saying, but let's pretend they're telling the truth even though they're not. The part was being repaired in Canada. And Canada said, look, we can't return this part because it would be a violation of the sanctions to send the part back. So the US and Germany, and then the US for Germany, lobbied Canada and said, you've got to give this part back. Russia's talking about shutting off all the gas, right? You got to do it. So Canada caves, sends the part back to Germany to send the part back to Russia. And Russia, a day or two ago, says, we don't want it. Surprise! Russia started saying, listen to this. Well, you told us the part was sanctioned. We wouldn't want to take a sanctioned part because that would get us in legal trouble, wouldn't it? We want to be good people. So Russia's demanding, this is again, to me, it literally is, here, little boy, or not here, boy, here, little doggy, jump a little, nope, oh, can't quite get it, jump again, right? He wants Schultz and frankly Biden in this case to jump even higher, right? So now what happened today, the Russians said, well, until we have a legal decision that tells us it's not part of the sanctions, we can't do this, right? So what happens? Russia, the European Commission turns around. Listen to this. Eric Mamer, chief spokesperson of the European Commission, rejected Russian claims that EU sanctions impede the delivery of the Siemens turbine. There is nothing in the sanctions that prohibits the turbine. Yeah, there is, right? The whole deal with Canada not returning the turbine to Russia was the sanctions. Nobody was arguing that, the sanctions don't apply. This part isn't covered. Everyone agreed this part was covered, right? But that because we had to help Germany because Germany's freaking out, Canada just needs to make an exception. No one's going to enforce it, right? Now, suddenly, Russia has forced us to turn around and say, oh, no, the sanctions don't cover it. Sanctions don't cover it. Yet again, to me, this is, it's torture, right? It's Star Trek. How many lights do you see? If you don't know Star Trek, you won't know what I mean. But it's literally trying to torture you enough until I've so beaten you up that you will see what I tell you to see and you will believe what I tell you to believe. And even lies, it's the end of 1984. I believe what I'm already forgetting the end. It wasn't something like now I get it. I believe in Big Brother or whatever the hell. I'm forgetting the end, the famous end of 1984, right? But it's finally, Winston Smith, after fighting all these years, he finally understood. He loved Big Brother, and that's what this is. It's getting us to gaslight. It's getting us to gaslight ourselves is the thing. We had to go public and lie about our own sanctions about this entire thing. It just sickens me. Not to mention, they've got a backup piece already. It's, oh God. Any case, the last little thing is the Wall Street Journal has, if you subscribe, the Wall Street Journal has a really big story that's interesting because it backs up everything we've heard from our Ukrainian friends, that there's been a resurgence of the Ukrainian language in Ukraine and a drop in using Russian. Russian was the predominant language in Eastern Ukraine. Certainly in, oh, okay, I'll check that in a second. Hang on, I'll check it in a sec. Thanks, Flint. Flint, you made me forget what I was talking about. No! Shit, what was I talking about, guys? I was totally thinking of Flint's thing. I was talking about Eastern Ukraine. Oh, Russian speakers, right? So Kharkiv, for example, my friend Vlad is from Kharkiv. He was brought up speaking Russian. At age 10, Vlad said, he had to start learning Ukrainian because his exams for high school were going to be in Ukrainian, and he didn't speak Ukrainian. His entire family was Ukrainian, but they spoke Russian. His parents spoke Russian. His grandparents spoke Russian, right? Now, in Kyiv, I think it was Yulia who was telling us, or maybe telling me, but maybe telling us that in Kyiv, Russian was, or maybe still is, the dominant language. And I think she said she would go into stores like Starbucks or wherever, and people would literally, the barista would look down on her for using Ukrainian. Like, she'd speak in Ukrainian, they'd respond in Russian to her. Chicago pilot, God, I'm already forgetting his name, Max, Chicago pilot who did the tour of the Russian tanks that are in the town square in Kyiv, remember? And took us on a real video tour of it. He was saying, I believe, that when he was a kid, he, growing up in Ukraine, I remember him saying, I think he's the one that told me that, if it's not, forgive me, because it was one of the Ukrainians I speak with. As a kid, he would speak Ukrainian with his family, but when he went out with his friends, even though all the friends spoke Ukrainian, they would switch to Russian because it wasn't cool to speak Ukrainian. It wasn't cool. What the Wall Street Journal says, which I didn't realize it was this far, that it went this far, Ukrainian was considered in Ukraine to be the word that the villagers spoke. I say villagers in a condescending European way, not in a way that we would understand. But I mean, I'm proud of the village my family's from in Greece, but nonetheless, you have people who are like, oh, the village, right? It's the language of the backward, uneducated people, is how Ukrainian was perceived in at least Eastern Ukraine, okay? Because of the Russian influence. And it was also, and actually Maxim, whose name I will never get correct, Aristavi, I don't pronounce his name well, Ukrainian LGBT rights activist, and he talks a lot on Twitter about the cultural, not just domination, but how the Russian culture literally oppressed Ukrainian culture. It's not like it became more popular or anything. It was literally that speaking Ukrainian was considered, again, you were a hillbilly. You were some uneducated farmer. You're a peasant, even better. Peasant, that's perfect, Philip. A peasant, right? That you're a peasant. Really amazing, really amazing. Thank you, Brady. Appreciate that. Like I said, unfortunately, actually, I do subscribe to the Journal. One thing I found with the Wall Street Journal is you've got to basically subscribe every year and then cancel. It's $4 a month, at least as an American, if you get it online. I love it. For $4 a month, I love the business news. And at the end of it, they try to up it to $40 a month. I just cancel. And then usually I can just do it again. If not, nothing lost. But usually I can do. I need to get some sponsorship for this stuff. I keep suggesting foods and products and things to you guys that I'm not getting paid for. But I really like the Journal for business news. But they've been really good on the Ukrainian stuff, among other things. I get the New York Times and the Washington Post as well for that reason. Same deal. I get the special deal. And then if I call them and they won't redo it, I just cancel and usually buy it again. So, Fresh Rogue is saying, yes, it's true. My husband was born in Donetsk, which is I will show you. Her husband was born here, well, either in the town of the city of Donetsk or the region, Eastern Ukraine, right by the Russian border. In the 1970s, they were made to speak Russian before Ukrainian. Yeah. Now, like in Vlad's family, they were simply Russian speakers. So it wasn't like in his family, they weren't made. It was just the language of his family. I mean, Ukraine was a bilingual society. Oh, there's another Max who's born in Lviv. Now, you are Western Ukraine, so obviously you were, I'm assuming, Max Nico, that being from Western Ukraine, you were brought up speaking Ukrainian, and you didn't have that same bias, so to speak, right? You weren't brought up thinking speaking Ukrainian was low class, were you, in the West? Lviv, just to show folks where Max is from, who's visited, different Max, not the Max who was with us. This is Lviv out here, way in Western Ukraine. Here's the border with Poland, right? So Lviv, the only part of the war Lviv sees are Russian cruise missiles. They at least don't have Russian troops on the ground and artillery and stuff. Just seeing if, sorry, Max Nico, I'm not sure if I got the exactly. I speak Ukrainian, Russian, and Poland. Now, my question for you, Max Nico, is when you were a child, was it considered low class to speak Ukrainian in Western Ukraine? Or was it normal and not considered, did the smart people speak Russian? Or in Western Ukraine, everybody speaks Ukrainian, it's normal? There's no prejudice against it. Which government? God, I wish a government was paying me. Sadly, no government is paying me, but for any governments listening, I'm here. So I'm here. Yes. Sorry, but I don't know which yes you're saying to, Max. So meaning, okay, I think you're saying yes, there was no problem with the Ukrainian language in the West. Okay, that's what I think you're saying. Okay. Yeah, Lviv will see refugees. Oh, yeah, a lot. Of course. Because refugees from Eastern Ukraine, my friend Vlad is from Kharkiv. He and his family are in south of Lviv. But okay, interesting. There you go. Hey, if the Russians want to pay me to criticize Russia, other than I think it might be illegal under the sanctions, but this is where I would say it's a long story. I have you guys. That's right. During Soviet Union, you couldn't speak Ukrainian. Yeah, interesting. Yep. And it was only, I want to say it was actually my friend Marion, who's very interesting. I don't know if she's with us today, but Marion was talking to me because she was a Russian really a Russian. She's fluent in business Russian. Super fluent. But she was in Ukraine in the late 1980s for a tour with USIA, and was saying that it apparently during Glasnost, I want to say, was the first time that they were finally starting to allow the Ukrainian identity to come forth, speaking it more, teaching it, I think. And I forgot the details, but it was very interesting. Tanya Clark says, I was born in Kyiv, grew up first few years in Lviv, spoke Russian all your life. Interesting. But of course, that's going to depend on your family, right? It's going to depend on your parents and where they grew up, right? That would matter too. Yeah. Thank you, Angel. Very interesting. It's very, is Yulia here with us today? Somebody is sending her sunflowers. So I assume she is. Do any work for the networks? No, I've never done any work for the networks. I've done a lot of TV previously, but not in a couple of years. I used to go on CNN a lot years ago. MSNBC a decent amount, but CNN I used to go on a lot. But it's been several years now, so I go. They never paid though. That's the thing. It's hard to get a contributor position, so you go on for free, and it's fun, but it's free, and you have to prepare, you have to go there, you have to wait an hour, you got to come home. It ends up eating up half your day to do free work. Well, not that I'm getting paid to do this, but you know what I mean? At least here I'm accomplishing something and I'm selling t-shirts. Woo. Which by the way, I've got to put up a note to say this. Anybody who's new and visiting and you like my stuff, do follow me if you would, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok or YouTube or any of the other services, Twitch, etc. So make sure to follow me if you would. I'm still here for a bit. let me see. I set up, I will only, I don't want to over promote this, but since it's, relatively new setup, put up another t-shirt in the shop last night. I set up a shop a few days ago selling t-shirts to benefit Ukraine. 50% of the profits will go to Ukraine. Various efforts we've been doing in Ukraine. And we put up another design. Actually, we did a couple things. I did a couple things. You guys were complaining about the one design being off center. Well, because you were such a PITA. Oops, I'm trying to, it's not letting me zoom in though, that's okay. All right, you can see. It is now centered. See how good I am? Just for you all. I centered it. I took it down, put it back up centered. PITA is pain in the ass. See? Now, these are cool, as I was saying, because what's fun about these is these are drawings from Ukrainian school kids, which is what I think is so cool. And then I go through it, like on this one, I removed the white background. So therefore, Americans, why don't I donate to Americans? Well, let me tell you what I do for Americans. There was a $3 trillion with a T dollar infrastructure bill to help Americans that was supposed to pass last year. And then every single Republican in Congress opposed it. So we couldn't help Americans. I supported the bill, but until you get rid of the Republicans who stopped it, I can't do anything about it. What I can do something about is raising money to help Ukrainians in a genocide. But this one I like because this one had a white background, and I removed the white background because I didn't want a big white box on the shirt. And I love how it ended. Sorry, I'm going to show you really quick. The other new one, actually, I've got two new ones. This one, I also removed the white background. This is the one that says there's a guardian angel is looking over you. Kind of hard to see a clear vision of it, but a guardian angel like looks over you, and then in the bottom she's got a long paragraph that's really beautiful. This is Lisa, and the other one that I just put up that I don't know if people are going to like or not. I like this one because it appeals to me. This is that T-shirt that I've just always liked. Let me see if I was able to save it to the device. I think it was. I'm trying to get a better picture of this guy. Hang on, guys. Yeah, sorry, I'm not even telling you where my shop is. So my shop is at erovosis.com. I did get this shirt. Okay, this one, oops. Again, these are just previews, of course, so be aware of that. Oops, hang on. I'm doing a bad job here. One sec, contrast. So this one, I really like this one because this one is purely a kid's drawing. And I'm going to show you guys too. It's like 6 Ukrainian soldiers holding up a sign. And like the sign on the left with the Ukrainian flag says, "Thank you." Yulia translated this for me. Oh God, now I'm already forgetting what the top, I've got it in my, hang on a sec. I've got it in my shop. I've actually got the translation in the description, but I also made sure that we have shirts that actually the kids wrote in Ukrainian. Oh, here we go. So the top says, "We will win, glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes," right? Then on the left, it says, "Thank you." And then below says, "We are invincible, we are strength." But I love the faces of these guys. It's such a kid's drawing, which is why I like it. And again, I don't think it's funny. I almost am not sure if this one's as pretty as some of the other ones, but I like it because I like just it's clearly a kid's drawing, In any case, now the funniest thing, I swear to God, I'll go back to the news because we still got time. The funniest thing is 2 shirts that are now doing the best that I do not believe. The 2 shirts, which I'm very surprised about. I like them, but I'm surprised they're doing this well. This one, which is one of the Ukrainian military patches that I've got, and I simply printed it on a shirt. This one is doing gangbusters. It has the Ukrainian trident, the flag, and then the word Ukraina. This is a Ukrainian military patch, as Vlad pointed out to me. It is a patch that they wore a few years ago. Vlad was very concerned. People knew it wasn't the patch right now. I was like, okay. I said, but it's a real Ukrainian military patch they wore a couple of years ago. He goes, yeah. I said, okay. The other one is the current patch. Let me show you just for fun, because I think it turned out really well. Wow, I think it's this one. Yeah, the other one is this is a similar patch. It's not the same one. I've got a couple of these patches, and I blew it up on the shirt, and this one's been doing really well. This is a similar patch. But you can see these are the current patches. They go on the shirts like this. But they've been doing really well. So, but surprisingly, I thought the kids, anyway, I'm going to ask Vlad to get more of the military stuff, more of the kids stuff, especially because I would love to keep doing the kids thing. I mean, because to me, I love kids. So to me, the kid thing is just so the stuff these kids wrote. As I said, each description of the product, it tells you what they wrote. The stuff they wrote is so freaking touching. I mean, to me, it's like, oh my God. So let me tell you about V-necks, okay? For women, I've got, for the oldest shop, I've got to add the women's shirts to it. I've got women's shirts. What is weird to me as an American, the women's designs, they've got several women's designs. All of them are slim except one. And I was thinking slim, like as a guy, slim. I mean, I'm a skinny guy. I think slim would still look weird on me as a shirt. It would be too tight. Do American women want a slim shirt? I mean, if you're petite, it does. If you're petite, it does, right? But so the other ones were slim. The V-neck they had, the only V-neck they had was a unisex. They did not have a woman's V-neck at all. They only had a unisex. So I picked the one women's shirt that is not slim, and it says it's organic, whatever that means. So that's the one I've got at this point. And you can tell it's more of a woman's cut. But yeah, slim I thought was just crazy, right? Now, with this service, I believe Syndicate was telling me, once you sell a lot of stuff, the more stuff you sell. Thank you, Nathan. Oh, Nathan, thank you. You are so sweet. Saying it as your porn friends come in. Thank you, Nathan. That's really sweet of you. But once I sell more stuff, organic means not bleached. I didn't know. I wondered. I was like, for a t-shirt, what does that mean? I didn't know what that meant. Okay, that's interesting. I'm basically up with the organic thing. Oh yeah, once you sell more t-shirts, they give you more options, apparently. Like they give you more options on the kinds of shirts. So hopefully there will be a woman's V. There was no women's V. The only V was, unit. Let me show you guys really quick. The only V was unisex. And I kind of felt like that was not quite happening. You know what I mean? Because a unisex tee, it's still, frankly, let me show you. To me, it looked like a guy's tee. It looked like a guy's tee. Hang on here. So yeah, so the shop is erevosis.com. Oh, I think you guys bought several. We had several. I just had a jump in sales. Thank you all. Let me see here. Oh yeah, I'm going to create a new campaign just cause. Let me show you. Yeah, women's slim cracks me up. Women's organic, ladies competitor performance. I don't know what the hell that is. So the only V that could possibly work for women is a unisex V. But to me, I'm like, unisex, are you crazy? Like, I mean, if you're unisex and you're wearing this as a woman and you look like this, you should be, wrestling. I mean, right? I mean, would you wear that as a woman? To me, that looks like a guy's shirt. I'm also not sure how these designs would look on here, but you know what I mean? That's all they've got for a V-neck. No, I'm sorry. As a woman, yes or no for the women. As a woman, would you, so that's why I didn't put it up yet. I mean, I could put it up. I just didn't want to. I just feel like to me, it looks like a hunky guy. You know, even the cut of it, it looks like a hunky guy shirt, you know? Thank you, Nathan. Exactly. Come for the Ukraine news, stay for the fashion advice. Exactly. I agree. I think it's too boxy. I mean, for a guy, I think it looks like a great, if the irony too is for a guy, this to me looks, I mean, this is clearly a guy's shirt. Like, to me, that's like a gay boy shirt. I say that lovingly as a gay boy, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he's got a chest. Everything about this shirt says guy to me. It doesn't say, I mean, now maybe a woman could wear it. If it's baggy, it would look sexy. I don't know, you know, but, I mean, men's t-shirts. Yeah. I love me t-shirts. That's funny, Kiki. But yeah. So anyway, that was what I was thinking right now. That's why I've got the one woman shirt and I've got the one unisex, because the unisex shirt, interestingly enough, the unisex that I'm selling is the one that all the top shops sell on that site. And a lot of them don't sell anything else but maybe a sweatshirt, but in t-shirts, they only sell the unisex. So either it's popular with women or they're not even selling to women, which is kind of rude. So there you go. There you go. Crew necks, the crew neck, isn't the crew neck, the shirts that I'm selling are crew necks. Wouldn't you call that a crew neck? Isn't that a crew neck? What is that? Right? Is that not a crew neck? Yeah. Yeah. So they're both crew necks. One's a crew neck woman's shirt and one's a crew neck man's shirt. Scoop neck. There's nothing scoopy yet. No. I don't have the options yet. I'm hoping once time goes on, you know, I don't know what the rules are. Oh, the Iranian drone thing. I got to look. Sorry. My Twitter. Somebody sent me Iranian drone video, something on Twitter. That's a crew neck. That's what I figured. Yeah. The crew neck is this, like what I'm wearing now is a crew neck. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I wear. I think V-necks, V-necks as a guy, you got to have the body for it and the shirt has to fit correctly. And for me, V-necks, they've always been too, I'm going to be polite and not use bad words I grew up with, too, I just feel like I'm working on a car, and working on cars is hot, but I mean, it's something I'd wear as a loose shirt to get dirty. I wouldn't wear it, you know? It's not, yeah. What, any case, I can't remember. The link to the shop is my last name, aravosis.com. So my name that you see at the top of TikTok or YouTube or everywhere else, aravosis.com is the easiest way, because I had that URL anyway and it seemed to make it easy. So, but yeah, hopefully they eventually give me more options. Maybe they are already. I'll have to like go in too and see, like, when I try to buy more shirts, which are more popular. Now I'm just curious right now. Yeah, people, it's funny. The military, I'm glad you guys like them, but the military ones I just didn't think would be as popular, you know? But I like it. Now, I've already ordered one myself, the one that says Ukraine on it. But you know, a robe with a trident. Now, they don't sell, I do not have access to robes yet, but that's a great idea. The robe with the trident on the back would be cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. A back for a hoodie. Yeah. That's another thing. I don't think, let me look again. I keep forgetting. So create a campaign. Let me look and see. I've got, it does have two hoodies. Actually, guys, there's a heavyweight. These are a Hanes and a Gildan. Hanes is a heavyweight hoodie, F170. The Gildan midweight hoodie is $3 less. I'm trying to get the base price. So I'm guessing less quality. Hanes is probably the good one. But they've got a hoodie. I just wasn't sure how you do it. Do you put the design on the, you guys will have to tell me. And they've got sweatshirts too, just a crew neck. They've got two crew neck sweatshirts. Yep. No new designs yet for me to use, but I would consider the hoodie if people buy hoodies. I just wasn't sure. So you put the design on the back. Yeah, I would do the Hanes. Then I've got to figure out what is I'll just look at I'll look at what other, I did for the shirts, for example, they recommended the price, which is what I'm using. And it's the price that the majority of the big vendors use. So I was like, okay, perfect. For hoodies, I'll have to see what they charge. I don't know. But I kind of like the heavyweight because I've had cheap ones before, and the cheap ones are cheap. I don't like that. I can possibly add the front. It'll increase the price if I do the front and the back. I agree. It would look that would look kind of cool to have you're right, to have the trident on where the pocket would be on the front, and then one of the kids' designs on the back, you mean? Now, would it be thank you for getting a consulting advice for you guys. Would it be the kids' design on the back, or we're looking at the military, or we're kind of looking at a little bit of everything? Hungry. We're talking about this. What are we talking about? Food. But for the hoodie, then would you put would you just do everything? Kids and trident? Okay. And military. I guess you're right. Okay. Everything. Okay. Trident patch. See, trident on both sides could be cool. I mean, the military stuff is cool. No, the military one like this, well, you could put it would go on the back shoulder, I guess. That's true. It would go on the back shoulder. Now for hoodies, still stick with black and white. Black shirts have been selling the most, which I've been very surprised. Okay, all of the t-shirt design. Oh, hey, Carol. Thanks. You're my expert. I've been really surprised that the black shirts have been selling the best. Just because I assumed white shirts was what people wanted more, but white is doing okay. White is second, but black is, second. It's the only other color. But the black is doing better, which I'm very surprised. Very surprised. Start with the military or trident and then open up more hoodie designs. Yeah. Well, and eventually I've seen products with the sleeves. Oh, thank you, Soletto. Eventually I've seen products with sleeves done, but again, that's got to be a future product. Okay, Jingle, thanks. Well, see, for me, I agree with you on white. Like white hoodies and stuff would get too dirty. A white t-shirt is okay, Well, my problem with white t-shirts too is like in the summer, I like black, but I would never go outside in this shirt because I would melt. I melt. And if I'm not wearing white, I melt. I mean, for a shirt, at least in the summer. I can absolutely do more colors. I've been avoiding more colors because everyone sort of told me, although Carol, I don't know if I asked you about it, but everyone who sold shirts told me stick to black and white. We always do other colors. Nobody wants them. And I've been like, okay. Interesting, John. Yeah. Gray hoodie. Well, that's true. I wasn't thinking about that. You're right. A hoodie, you'd want gray because gray is the color of sweatshirt, right? Like for me, I think of my old sweatshirts as being gray, black and blue. See, this is where we get into everybody with all the disagreement here. Red and blue. See, I like red. I'm not sure people would like, I like red shirts. Like I was thinking some of these designs on red would be gorgeous. Some of the kids' designs, but I'm a red guy and I'm afraid, I mean, for example, this on red, right? Or the, where's the other? Yeah, or the other new one I've got now. Where are you? Evening wear, very nice. Oops, where is this? Sorry, let me go. All right, boom. Maybe not red for this one. This wouldn't be red, but this one could be interesting on a colored shirt as well. I mean, besides just black, but because of the bright colors, it might be like this one I'm going to buy myself. It's funny, even though it's hearts, which I normally wouldn't buy a shirt with hearts, I just think it's the most beautiful shirt, It just, yeah. No, I just think and mind you, these aren't all the shirts. I think a number of the designs, I'm not sure several of them work for shirts because they're not bright enough. Well, customers can choose colors if I turn all the colors on. The thing is, what these guys make very hard. Oh, no, that's not true. That's a really good point. Hold on a second. What's the downside of just turning all the colors on? I don't get it. I mean, for example, when you go to this shirt that I made, it shows you two colors, black and white, black circle, white circle, right? There's a black circle and a white circle. What's the downside in just accepting all the colors, assuming the colors work for the design, right? I just go and I look at which colors work. I mean, right? I mean, actually, Carol, you're my t-shirt expert friend, right? If I put up 10 circles, do we care? 10, assuming that all colors work for the design. Okay, then you know what? I'm going to do that. No, it's going to require me. It's okay. It's going to require me to, because it doesn't let, the bad part is the site doesn't let me change that until the campaign is over, unless I end the campaign, but it's okay. I'm going to end the campaign and put a new one up immediately. And then just accept all the colors. Now the shirts is a different question, because unfortunately the way that, this is a great site, but the way it works, which pisses me off, this is where, by the way, there is a running commentary from me about how I should be a millionaire helping websites do their user interface, because for whatever reason, I'm very good and very curmudgeonly at finding the user interface, figuring out problems. The website of these guys, you look at it and you go, oh, okay, so there's this shirt and there's two colors and that's it. Okay. And then related products. Well, everyone knows related products are different products, right? No, related products are actually the women's, this one I didn't even have a women's design. The women's design is a related product. So they don't make it really clear, or if I have the women's design picked first, they don't make clear that the other shirt is a related product. You've got to scroll all the way down to find the woman's shirt or the different design shirt, not different design, the same design and a different shirt. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. In any case, I'll do that then. Okay. Then I will go through and turn on, I'll make sure that they're colors that go, which is a little risky. That's what my only concern is, we don't know what the colors look like until they print. So I always worry a little bit about that. If you get yellow, does it go with the yellow in her thing? But I'm going to base it on the image that's there. And if the colors go, then this is good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. No, this is helpful. Well, see, and the coffee cups would be cool. They don't offer coffee cups yet for me. I've got to sell more. So, we'll get there. But I'm very excited. I mean, and honestly, like I said, Syndicate helped with a lot of the images. So God bless him. But it's really good. And like I said, I'll go through and do that then. Yeah. Cause I do think it would be nice to, well, I'll put the other colors and I'm going to write myself a little note here. I'll do hey, Google, lower the temperature 1 degree. Sorry if your Nest thermostat just went off at home. I'm going to do hoodies. These exactly of going back. And then all colors. And I'll just have to see what they're charging for hoodies, meaning what people are paying, because I'm kind of curious, actually, just for fun, to pick a hoodie and see what their recommended price is, because they recommend the price, which is not unhelpful. Let me try this here. That one works. Okay, hold on. I'm just loading one up for fun to see what their recommended price for the hoodie is. All right, it takes a second to upload the image. They don't do stickers yet. Yep, I know. I think coffee mugs for some of the vibrant design would be totally cool, but don't have it yet. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I got the image. Stop that. All right. I'm going to pick the good hoodie, the Hanes heavyweight. Done. Whatever color, who cares? Okay, they're recommending charging $39.99, so $40. Now this is the hoodie with this is the hoodie with one. Let me put 2 pictures on it. Hang on. That's with 1 picture. Okay, I'm going to put 2 pictures on the hoodie. Well, wait, the second picture is going to probably add $5 to it. I hope it's not more than $5. Let's see. because I was forgetting I've got to turn the hoodie backwards to add the design on the back. But I like the idea of, because I was thinking of a hoodie, a big thing here was weird, but you're right, a small. Now, let me ask you guys, sorry, 1 second, because here we go. Okay. Set pricing. Oh, no, that's funny. Wait, 2050, hang on. 2050, I'm going to get rid of this. All right. Yeah, it adds $5 to the price. It adds $5 to the price. So like $45 for a hoodie, but for a good hoodie, apparently it's a thick hoodie. You paid $65 for a vacation sweatshirt and had to order this. Good, Deb. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting, John Hoover. Yeah. Thank you, Elise. Thank you for doing that. Totes are not part of the, they don't have totes yet. What I'll do too is, that's interesting. Now we're getting like code from the spammers. What I'll do too, I think, is once there's more choices of things, I can bring them up so you guys can look and say, oh yeah, those are cool, those aren't. And Carol, you'll help me too with this. The final thing to ask you guys, using like these patches, actually the patch that I had was similar patch with the trident's a little lighter. Putting these on the front of all the hoodies as a pocket, does that make it too masculine for the women out there, even though the back of it will have military for some, the back of it will have the kids' drawings. For the kids' drawings and back, is this too military, having the military patch on the breast, on the pocket? Just for women, I'm wondering. Or for guys either, Frank. I shouldn't say just women, but you know what I mean. If you're looking for a more feminine shirt, is that too masculine? I like that. Nothing's too masculine for a woman. Damn it. I don't know what yes and no means. Okay. You use complete. Okay, not a problem, you mean. Okay, sorry, use complete words, because no and yes, I don't know which we mean for which. Okay, not a problem then. Okay, good. See, that's Deb thinks it's too masculine. That's my only concern, is because I could imagine, not even masculine, I could imagine it's a feel-good shirt with a cute kids drawing about the soldiers and stuff, and on the front is an actual military design. Okay, there's a question too. Dora is saying, don't mix the military insignia with the kids' design. Now, the only thing is, Dora, with that, I don't think it's a problem, because the kids were literally drawing drawings about and for the military. So every single kid's drawing is about, the soldiers are our heroes and thank you, soldiers, and that kind of stuff. Every single drawing. I mean, every single one. The angel is looking over you. Most of them, so they're all that kind of, they're all that kind of thing. I had thought about that, but I'm not worried about that at all. Yeah. Well, Emma, I'm going to see what other designs I can get, because the thing is, I'm not employing a bunch of 7-year-olds in Ukraine. I was very fortunate. Vlad surprised me by even getting these drawings, and he got the rights to that. I said, you've got to get rights. He goes, already done. I love when because Vlad is very good at thinking ahead on stuff. I was like, very good. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to ask him to get more. I'm going to ask him to get more though. But yeah, I want to do it. I still do think we should get more. And frankly, I've already told, he's cool with how I'm doing it. I told him, anything of the Ukraine stuff, I'm going to do the split and send him 50%, or either send him, meaning send for the various things we're working on in Ukraine, their portion. And then if I end up doing Sasha merchandise, that'll be for me. That'll be 100% for me. Well, Deb, it's funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing about possibly, I'm going to ask Vlad when we do it about giving him a portion. I was thinking of that as well, but it depends, because Vlad is still doing his consulting. So he might be, because that's how he knows my nephew. consulting for his business. So he might be okay financially. I don't know actually right now. He wasn't initially because they were uprooted and he wasn't working and they didn't have money. Well, Rainbow, the only reason for this is because these shirts are literally about the war. Literally, the kids were asked to draw shirts about the war. And they're all shirts about glory to Ukraine and glory to the heroes and pictures of the soldiers. So that's why they are shirts about the war. So that's why the military patch didn't, now a sunflower patch is funny. I mean, I've got my, I don't know. Well, I could try. Let me show you. I've got my own picture of a sunflower I took here in DC, which of course means I own the rights, which is nice because, but I got a really nice photo of a sunflower here in DC. And I don't know to what degree I can use it because somebody just said, what about a sunflower? I don't have a sunflower. Well, what I've got as a sunflower, which is kind of neat, is what was it? Yana. It's really nice. This is the one that's on the shirt, but it's two storks be in front of a sunflower with the angels flying overhead, and the storks are the national bird of Ukraine. But that's the only one that has a sunflower. But I mean, can I actually like crop the picture and put that here? I feel like that would look funny, just a square. Oh, it's my photo, of course. But I'm just wondering, like, yeah, there are no pins yet. I'm not sure how to put it on, though. That's the only thing. I had finished the news. It was a lot of news, actually. No, legally, I know it's my picture. Oh, trust me, that I know. That's not a problem. I'm saying visually, I wouldn't put a square picture. Would I then just get the outline of the sunflower? If I can? I mean, I can. With Photoshop, I can. And do that. Yeah, because I've got the larger picture so that I could always just crop it out with Photoshop. I mean, I don't know. I'm just still not convinced. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Thank you, Baby Shoe, for the garland. Oh, Flint, I would love that. You know what, Flint? You've got to tell me your Twitter account again. I can't remember who's who. Tell it to me right now, and I'll send it to you right now on Twitter. Just the sunflower. Okay. He's going to work on a design too. That's what I was thinking, Laka. Yeah, the outline. With Photoshop, it's easy to. Artist rendering, I don't know. Although Syndicate would. Well, that's the thing too. The sunflower could be really big on the back if we can get it to look good. We'd have to edit. I know we'd have to edit the photo. I did as best I could because, of course, it was facing down. So I was trying to do up and get as much sun as I could on it, Oh, yeah, you were going to give me. Flint is going to give me his Twitter. And then I will go there. Or did you just, I don't know. 5 sunflower shirts for friends. Yeah, let me see, because also the sunflower could look just. Oh, okay, that's funny. That's very funny. Flint sent the real footage of Iranian drones in action. Okay, very funny. Okay, there you are then. Okay, I'm going to direct message you a copy of the photo, Flint, and then we're set for that. 1 second, guys. Album favorites. This is really helpful. Thank you, everybody. It's hard in your own mind to sort of figure out what people find the most interesting all the time, Is this the one? No, this one's cropped. Well, I'll send you both. I think it's the same image, actually. I'll send you the original, Flint, but the original I probably have not edited. You know what I mean? So I normally would edit it to make it brighter and everything else, and I didn't do that on the original, but the original has all the petals in place. Here we go. Okay, it's sending it to you, Flint. Great. Golly, the spammers are just crazy on YouTube today. I mean, the good thing is YouTube's a pretty slow chat, so it's not it's never really a problem. Oh, what did John Hoover suggest about the sunflowers? Hang on a sec. Sunflower with tears. Yeah, I mean, well, one of the shirts, I mean, one of the designs that is really beautiful, but I question as a t-shirt. Hold on. I'm going to get Yulia's translation here. Yulia was very sweet the other day and translated all the kids' t-shirts for me. Let me find this one. One sec. Oops. Now, you know, I'm going to spend the rest of my day trying to figure all the sweatshirts and everything out. I love design. I mean, I love when you guys buy stuff, but I love Photoshop and I love this kind of stuff. It's so, you know, I mean, I should have gone into this stuff instead, so to speak. All right. I want to show you, but I wanted to find her translation as we're looking at this. Okay. So this one, okay. This one, and I'll go up close, says, Ukraine will win at the top. At the bottom, we believe in victory. We believe in the victory of the AFU, the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Her name is Anya. She's in the 9th grade. My only concern is, like, she's got blood tears, blood coming out of her mouth, and blood from the candle. And I just wasn't sure. And I mean, I love the peace doves on the side. I just wasn't sure. We've already got a version like Syndicate made darker, so that's not really the problem. I just wasn't sure if it's too, you know, blood. You know. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. As a T-shirt, I'm afraid people are going to go, ooh, blood. I mean, you know. Oh, I know it's how she feels. I'm just wondering what would people wear. You know, and to be honest too, there's a little bit of my feeling like there's almost a little too much of that girl in the picture. The fact that she's got blood coming out of her almost makes me think she got hurt or something feels, yeah, something feels too personal at the same time, a little bit for me, you know? I don't know. We'll see, guys. We'll see. Oh, it's not a matter of censoring. It's just a matter of do I or don't I. I wouldn't change the picture. It's do I or don't I, you know, put it up there. Now, let me show you the remaining designs that I'm unsure about. This one. Now, we can easily make it darker. That's fine. So it'll stand out more. So the flowers will be more saturated and the picture itself will be darker. It says, you know, for peace for Ukraine, or what is it? Peace for Ukraine, I guess, right? Now, I mean, I don't know, right? I like the fact that it's simple, it's pretty, it's kind of the Ukrainian design though of the flowers, and the writing is fabulous, you know, so it's nice. It's not centered. That's a problem right there. Now, for centering, I could always move these blue flowers just a little bit to the right, you know, that I could do that. And no, but the heart, you're right. The heart still isn't centered. The heart's not centered. Yeah, that's true. You'd have an issue with that. You know, it's pretty though, but you purists would tell me it's not centered. The child's name is on the back. Oh, this is a young kid. This is Bogdana, who's in the 2nd grade. And we were assuming mom probably helped her a little bit with the flowers. I'm going to guess Bogdana did the heart. Actually, mom may have done the drawing and Bogdana might have done the colors, you know. I mean, 2nd grade. but that's centering is an issue. Well, actually, no, but Nathan raises a good point. It's a kid's drawing, right? I mean, you know, I mean, to some degree, if you look at it that way, you may not worry about it being off center. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'll send you the picture later, Flint, because you're right. It is going to center it too much. I mean, it's going to, Twitter probably is going to. Oh, that's interesting. Those are interesting, John. That's interesting. I mean, the patch is nice because the trident. I like the complicated trident. The ribbon is interesting, huh? The ribbon's interesting. That's funny because it's an angel. Um, okay, two more. This one, no matter what I try, it says no to war. It's very pretty. It's very pastel and light. Making it darker was difficult. Maybe somebody who's better at Photoshop could. It's tough because it's kind of pretty. I mean, I like the pastel, and the lightness of it is kind of cool. This is Miroslava, who's in the first grade, which I love about it, right? So I'm guessing somebody probably helped with the drawing and Miroslava did the color, is my guess. And it is, though. I think the pastel is beautiful. Now, the pastel is not going to work exactly on a light shirt. A dark shirt is going to be questionable. You know, I'm worried about, and I'm worried about it. I mean, you'd have to have it on white. We could make it dark. We could make it, have somebody, maybe Syndicate's better than I am at this, make the contrast better so it's a darker image. Although the pastel, I mean, the fact that it's such a, look at the way the flower is drawn. The fact that it's so subtle is what I like about it, but it's what makes it print not as well. Oh, very funny, Nathan. That was what you were talking about. Now, this is the final one, and it's yet again one that I'm not sure about. Hang on. This one, I'm pretty sure it says heroes never die, I think. Yes, because Yulia told me what it means. Yeah, this is from Miroslava. And Miroslava's in the first grade. So Miroslava wrote at the top, now mind you, look at this is the medic one, where it's a medic. We don't know if the medic is dead. The medic is probably dead. There's no blood, but probably dead. The stork is the symbol of Ukraine. Obviously, the national bird and the symbol. The very, very hallowed bird as well. Like, it's considered a good omen when you see storks. The colors of the wings of the flag. It says heroes never die. And what Yulia explained to me was it's from a famous saying in Ukraine. Hold on, I'm going to pull her thing up. It's from a famous saying that all kids learn. Heroes don't die. They live in the free Ukraine. And the idea is I guess just that in their, because in death they're actually they're now in the spirits, and they're with the hope of the free. It kind of very poetic, but they live. So it's heroes never. I asked Julia, I said, is it fair to say heroes never really die? And she said, that's exactly the concept. But the problem I had was, we can make it darker. Is it just, I don't know. I feel like it's a dead body. Well, and John Hoover's saying, let's not do dead medics. That's what I mean. I feel like it's a dead medic. It's beautiful. I mean, mind you, a first grader having this kind of sentiment is really interesting to me. You would buy the whole family that shirt. Although I guess that's depending how you look at it, it certainly is honoring the dead. That one's, well, see, that's the thing is, I'm not totally convinced they're dead. I'm not, although it's hard to, you want to go outside? We're talking death. Go on out. She likes to go out. She gets to sit on my little couch out there. There's no indication that they're dead, but they could be. Boy, they could be. It's hard to know. I mean, I'll show you up close too. It's like, I just don't know, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's also metaphorical. So who knows is the point. Well, I mean, well, that's true. Now that's a possibility too. I mean, Verna asked, could you just Photoshop the stork? We could Photoshop the stork as its own design, because the stork itself is kind of a beautiful little design there, I try not to change the pictures to like, I've moved things around. Like when you guys wanted it centered, I moved things around a little so it was centered better. There was a heart that was too far out, so I moved it in basically. I don't want to change too much on it, but the stork itself, I mean, honestly, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to, granted, a 6-year-old isn't going to get too upset about editorial license here, but you know, there is the stork with the saying as well. Heroes never die. Actually, it is a rather beautiful stork. I'm guessing mom helped with the stork. That's a beautiful, look at the head on that thing. It's so simple. It's so simple, but so beautiful the way they did it, you know? You know? You know what, too? We can see. As long as nobody gets me in trouble and says I'm selling pictures of dead people, you know? But if we can get it a little darker, I'll have to see if this is one. The other debate we have is, which is a fun debate though, is on some of these I leave the white because there's really no choice. On some of them, we get rid of the white so that for a black background, you could have this on so in other words, the stork would be white, but the background would be black. And then the hero thing at the top, you know, whether we put an outline of white or something to make it readable on a black shirt. You know, with this, you never know until you try it, really. And again, it's fun. It just takes time to kind of try it on black and go, oh, that looks really good, or it doesn't. Yeah, well, they've got a, it's really weird. They've got a print. I don't know, Deb. I don't know. We'll see. I may just put it up as is. And if some of you want to buy, there's no downside. You know, what I like about this company too is the margins are pretty good for sellers. So even if I only sell a couple shirts, I still make a decent profit, which is nice. I mean, profit that I'll split with Ukraine, but we actually still make some money. And the worst thing that happens is you don't buy it, and next week I don't renew the shirt. You know? Vampire kits. The way that works for shirts are you first lay down a white and then you put your image on top. I'm not sure which you're referring to. Okay, I'll do prints of, you know, maybe I'll do prints of all of them, like we said, if I can. I know the washed out one is stunning. I've just got to see what I can do. All right, let me do a recap. People are getting antsy about the recap. All right, hold on. Although there is a lot of news for recapping. As always, this was I mean, honestly, you know, what I might even do one of these times, I may even schedule like a separate thing just to talk t-shirts, to be honest. And that way, anybody who wants to join and give me their advice, I find it very helpful. You know, I mean, I won't always agree with my staff at the United Nations never understood this. I was like, I want your advice. It doesn't mean I'm always going to agree with you, but that's okay. I mean, so I remember, I'm not going to get into it, but I'm talking to like 30-year-olds and up to 40 years old, having to tell people, it's okay that I didn't agree with you. It's not a big deal. You know, I mean, it's like a different work experience growing up. You know, Doro, at this point, we're still doing 6. I'm going to be doing a heavier analysis of what time works over the next month or two. So we'll have a better idea moving forward. But for right now, and I'm going back to Chicago in 2 weeks. And when I go back to Chicago, we have to do 6 p.m. Eastern because that lets me finish in time to have dinner with my family. So yes. All right. Let me tell you the news summary really quick. But yeah, I think I may do, like I said, I may do a t-shirt talk, so you guys can so I can show you stuff and you can, because this has been very helpful. Like I said, you've got me now wanting to like spend the rest of my day designing shirts. I really got to 88 isn't too bad. The problem is I think she's funny though. She's like, I can show you guys. I can't show the rest. She's just sitting there enjoying herself in the sun. You know, 88 degrees. And she's just sitting out there happy as a clam. Here, actually, you guys, I keep forgetting. I can take a picture for you. She's fun. And she'll come in if she gets too hot. She's not dumb that way, which is good. But it cracks me up because she just like, hold on. It cracks me up because she's just super. I got that couch from some neighbors who were throwing it out, and I was like, oh, it's Crate and Barrel or the other one. It was like really expensive. They were throwing it out. I was like, oh my God, please give it to me. But she's so cute because she just likes to, it's her little couch. She just loves to go up there and sit. It's just her little couch. But like I said, it's 88 degrees out and she's just like, I want to sit in the sun. I'm like, all right. Whereas if we walk outside, we can only go a couple blocks because she starts panting and I get worried at her age, you know. T-shirts. Oh, ευχαριστώ, Red Duke. I actually understood the entire sentence. Πάρα πολύ, ευχαριστώ. Ναι, με την μάνα μου στο Chicago. Oh, summary. I know. I will do some Sasha gear at some point. The only problem is I never quite know if what was I saying? Somebody was saying something. I don't know. Now I don't remember. No idea. Oh, the Sasha gear. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Sasha gear. I never quite know what the Sasha stuff, like whether it's too inside baseball. Like some people come and go, why is there a picture of a pretty little fluffy dog? Now, I will say this. Oh my God. Somebody designed, and it was literally just a draft. And I was like, oh my God, let me show you this. And I showed Yulia, who loved it. Because my only concern was I wasn't sure if it would be perceived as being, rude or something to Ukrainians. And she was like, no. This thing's gorgeous. Hold on. I'm going to show you this. It's a beautiful drawing. And this was, like I said, just a test drawing that someone had sent me. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, yes, definitely do something with that. Hold on. Come on. Trying to find the download of it. Otherwise, it's in my text. You know what? It's in my text to Julia. I will just find it on my text. Hold on. Julia. Oh, Nari, come on in. I know it's a little hot out there. Let me make sure she's got water, guys. 1 second. Since she was sitting. It's hot. I know it's hot. I know. Oh, I'll give you a lot more water. Oh, you got water. Oh, you got a lot of water. Okay, don't go crazy on me there. Right, hang on. Oh, here we go. I mean, now it's not perfect Sasha, but she also, like the ears, but the rest of it. But look at this drawing she did. It's Sasha with the traditional Ukrainian woman's with the flowers and the ribbons. Look at this. I was just like, oh, it's a drawing. I was like, oh my God. Like having the skill to do. And again, I love that this was she's like, it's just a draft. I was like, oh my God. And I checked with Julia. I was like, as long as nobody thinks we're saying Ukrainian women are dogs, she goes, no. She goes, that's gorgeous. I was like, okay, good. I love it. Because I love it. Yeah. Isn't it beautiful? So, exactly. That needs to be a t-shirt. I know. Well, I'm not going to do it until, she says it's final and everything else. But it's a beautiful shirt. It's a beautiful design. Yeah. All right. Let me give you the summary. Amnesty International's Polish office condemns Russia's war crimes and makes an implicit swipe at Amnesty itself for criticizing Ukraine. An 8-year-old boy raises $1,700 for Ukraine's military by performing outside. Russia is now beefing up defenses in Kherson in southern Ukraine via the Kerch Bridge. Institute for the Study of War says Ukrainian forces are likely continued to target Russian ammunition depots and positions in Kherson. The Russian occupation authorities are dramatically expanding their passportization of occupied Ukrainian territories by requiring Ukrainian civilians to get Russian passports to participate in most basic life activities. I gave a number of examples of how they're making Ukrainians get passports. They're also going to use voter registration drives to literally, or use people's voter registration to literally steal their vote and therefore fake the referendum on independence. Iranian drones, it is possible that as many as, Ukrainian intelligence says 46 drones have been handed over by Iran to Russia, and they are possibly drones that could strike the HIMARS weapon system. Bulgaria and Latvia have ceased issuing visas to Russians. Meta, aka Facebook, removes over 1,000 fake Russian accounts supporting Russia's war. The European Commission says there is no obstacle to returning the Nord Stream 1 turbine to Russia. And the Wall Street Journal did a big piece about Ukrainians dropping Russian and no longer using the language, even though for many of them in half the country in the East, it's the language they were brought up speaking. They now are switching to Ukrainian. So there you go. There you go. This was helpful. Oh my God, we talked that long. It's 4 o'clock. Jesus. Oh God. Well, okay, you can tell my voice is much better. I probably shouldn't have gone that long. Wow. I didn't realize we went that long, guys. In the old days, I could go 2 hours, but it's slowly improving. So knock on wood. Yep. All right, guys. I'm going to go. Yeah, the bots have been crazy on YouTube today. I'm not sure. I still wonder who falls for those things. I also wonder why YouTube, it's clearly the same company doing it. It seems weird that YouTube can't get a handle on it, you know? Anyway, we did get a lot. There was a lot of, I was saying, because I was afraid it was too much info today. It was a lot of information. And, Iran, Iran is already sanctioned to death as far as that goes. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure there's going to be more sanctions on Iran. But all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, okay? 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. New York time. So I will, and I'm going to work on TikTok. And exactly, we'll do a TikTok. That's cute. We may do a TikTok soon. I think first I'm going to go take the dog out and then try to do a little bit of work. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Red Duke. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Well, 2 p.m. my time. See you.